Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to support this report by the Committee on Decentralized Funds, the Decentralized Funds Accounts Committee. Honorable Speaker, let me begin by thanking the Chair, the Honorable Mulungi, for this very timely report that covers, I think, almost 10 counties, I think, 5. Honorable Speaker, 6 counties actually, and quite a number of constituencies, almost close to 30 constituencies. But Honorable Speaker, just as we are talking about the participation of chairs and vice chairs in the House, you know, it is good that when we are debating a report like this, that the members of those particular constituencies are also in the House. Honorable Speaker, I understand, like now I see the first, on page 11, the first issue is from the member, the constituency of Likoni in Mombasa County. Honorable Speaker, you may understand that the member for Likoni might be busy elsewhere, but I think the people of Likoni constituency elect us, and not just Likoni, the people of Kenya elect us as members of parliament to come represent them, but more importantly to oversight government on their behalf. And the national government constituency funds are funds of the national government, implemented, Honorable Speaker, by committees, the project implementation committees, under the stewardship of the fund account managers. That is why, Honorable Speaker, you will find many at times, you will find the media getting excited whenever an issue touching on CDF is prosecuted, even in a report like this. And many people imagine that this is a matter you can persecute and prosecute the member of parliament for that particular constituency on. Whereas we bear the bigger responsibility of oversight in these funds, we as members of parliament are not the implementers of projects. And therefore it's rather important that when reports like this are in the House, the member of parliament who is charged with the responsibility of oversighting these funds on behalf of the people of the constituency they are elected in are here, Honorable Speaker, to speak to the issues that have been raised by the Auditor General and looked into by the committee of this House that has interrogated all these reports, Honorable Speaker. Ramase is rather embarrassing and assuming that a number of us have found it better to be out there in the streets in maandamano, I don't know over what, Honorable Speaker, demanding we open servers that the people in the streets have no keys for, whereas we should be demanding that the money that was allocated to your constituency is properly utilized for the benefit of your constituents. But you have abdicated that responsibility and gone to the streets, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, we must encourage the members, Honorable Speaker. And if you allow me, because it is all the constituencies in Mombasa County, Honorable Speaker. I don't think I see any member from Mombasa County, even one, in the House today. Kwale County, Honorable Speaker. Again, looking around, I don't see a single member from the county of Kwale in the House. Tana River. Honorable Speaker, even before I go to Kilifi, the Honorable Mboko is asking even the member who represents Shakahola. He is not in the House, in Kilifi County. And it's true. The member for Malindi constituency is not in the House. And Magarini. And even Rabai. Only the member of Kilifi North was here. And Honorable Speaker, Taita Taveta County also. Lamu County, which has only 2 members of parliament. I think I've seen the Honorable Rueda was here and Honorable Mudhama or somewhere there. At least those 2 are there. And Honorable Speaker, we need to encourage all our members to be present. And going to the substance of the report, Honorable Speaker, for instance, and maybe clarifications I would be seeking from the Chair on the move of this report. If you look at the issues that were raised in relation to Likoni constituency, In the committee observations, the committee observes that the fund account manager provided a satisfactory explanation to the committee. But then when you go to the recommendations are saying that the economic officer should, within 3 months of the adoption of this report, institute disciplinary action against the fund account manager for violation of the laid down procedures on payment of projects as per the CDF Act of 2013, repealed. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, I was just wondering, maybe the speaker in, sorry, not the speaker, the mover, the Honorable Mulingi, when replying, he would probably appraise the House as to why that seems to be contradictory, because if the fund account manager provided a satisfactory answer to the issue that have been raised by the auditor, I would expect then the recommendation should not be adverse against the fund account manager. And I hold no brief for the fund account manager, but I am a believer as an accountant and as a former auditor, Honorable Speaker, in the right of reply and actual prosecution of issues in the right manner, especially when it comes to accounting issues, because accounting issues are, you deal with facts and figures, and therefore if the committee was satisfied with the explanation that was availed by the fund account manager, I do not think then the committee should recommending that the disciplinary action be taken against that particular fund manager. And I must say I really don't know who the fund manager is. And that's why I was saying I hope the member for Likoni would have been in this house today to tell us what are the issues. Honorable Speaker, many other issues have been raised in this committee's report relating to how our fund account managers manage the resources that have been dedicated to our constituencies. And I want to encourage all the members of this house to take time to offer meaningful oversight over your CDF monies. Because at the end of the day, as much as we are saying here, we are not the implementers of these projects. We bear responsibility as the people who oversight these resources. And the people back in our constituencies have entrusted us with that responsibility to provide meaningful oversight. And I really want to encourage members, please do not get involved with the day-to-day micromanagement of your NGCDF. Offer meaningful oversight. Because when you get engaged in the day-to-day running of your CDF in terms of micromanaging, then you become conflicted and you're not in a position then, and you lose to offer meaningful oversight, and you consequently lose the moral authority to even critique issues, avoid issues touching on procurement, allow due processes under the Public Procurement and Disposal Act of 2015 to take charge. Because I have seen, Honorable Speaker, in some constituencies, members of parliament insisting on directing who gets what contract, and that is none of our business, Honorable Speaker, as members of parliament. And I want to confirm, Honorable Speaker, for the time I have oversighted my NGCDF funds in Kikuyu, I have never had the opportunity, even at the time when I joined this house in 2013, when we sat in NGCDF committees, the then CDF committees, when we were patrons of CDF, I purpose not to ever sit in that committee to deliberate on procurement issues, and I purpose that I will be there to offer meaningful oversight. And I believe the people of Kikuyu constituency have enjoyed my term as member of parliament from 2013 in being able to roll out development projects that have given value for money, because I have been there to offer proper and meaningful oversight over the committees that we elect to implement these projects. And Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Chepkonga is reminding me that indeed in my first term in Parliament, Honorable Speaker, because of purposing to offer proper and meaningful oversight of NGCDF, the people of Kikuyu appreciated what I had done and elected me unopposed as the first member of Parliament to be elected unopposed under the 2010 Constitution, Honorable Speaker. And I really want to encourage even our new members to learn from those of us who have been there and those who have been ahead of us, to ensure that your funds at the constituency are properly managed. And to ensure that is done, you can only do that if you offer oversight. And when you do not get involved into deciding what money goes to what projects, which contractor will get what classroom, what contractor, even with your carer funds, the constituency carer funds, allow the CRC committee and the CRC officers on the ground to implement projects without necessarily meddling, especially in the procurement processes. Honorable Speaker, we have seen many members of parliament being charged in courts over procurement issues that we should never involve ourselves in. And therefore, I want to encourage all members of parliament in this 13th assembly to ensure that what we are doing is in line with the NGCDF Act, is in line with our constitution. Let us offer our oversight role. Let us represent our people. And in representing our people in NGCDF matters, we begin by getting involved in the public participation exercises, which directs where you shall take your money to in terms of project implementation. Allow your people in the constituencies, because they have entrusted you as your leader, allow them the opportunity to propose projects and be there to moderate and offer leadership in the prioritization of those projects, but don't seek to be the one to always direct that this money must go to this village because probably it's a village you come from or the village you have married from. Allow balanced implementation of projects across the constituency. Whether people voted for you or they did not vote for you, do not sideline any part of your constituency because you think you did not get enough votes from that particular area. Balanced development across the constituency pays off at the end of the day, and people will be able to see a difference between now when you are the member of parliament and probably the person you succeeded or your predecessor. Therefore, I just want to encourage members, Honorable Speaker, to also take time to review what your committees are doing. Take time to get involved. Don't send your fund account managers and your constituency office managers to give bursaries on your behalf. Be available on the ground to give out those bursaries. Do not allow your fund account manager and your constituency manager to be the ones to go and commission projects on your behalf. They will commission the next election before you commission your campaign for you or on your behalf. And we have seen instances where fund account managers, constituency office managers succeed their members of parliament because their members of parliament were never available on the ground, and therefore the people get accustomed to the constituency office managers and the fund account managers being the ones doing the work, and they tend to believe it is the work, and they fail to understand that it is you who takes your time in this house to appropriate resources, adequate resources into NGCDF. And you are the one who oversights and ensures that those committees and even your fund account manager, your constituency manager, are indeed implementing projects that are in the interest of the people that have elected you. Honorable Speaker, I want to also ask particularly the members of these 6 counties to not only participate in maandamano, because I know many of them are busy in maandamano, but to take time. I see one of them has just walked in, I'm sure, and I understand the Honorable Speaker because they in maandamano in quotes, because many of them I have seen them hovering around Parliament, but are afraid to appear on the floor of the House because they will be reprimanded for not having gone to the streets. But I want to encourage them also to be strong leaders. If you do not believe in this chaos, if you do not believe in this anarchy, please be gentlemen like Honorable Mulungi, who has taken time to be here to move this report, because that is what the people in Makwiny elected him to do, to come and do in this House, Honorable Speaker. The people of Mwingi, Honorable Speaker, have elected the Honorable Mulungi to come and do, and the people in the Decentralized Funds Committee have entrusted him with the leadership of that committee, and I indeed want to thank the Honorable Mulungi. And I was trying to trace who is the vice chair of this committee, Honorable Speaker, because the Honorable Gertrude Mbeyu, who again is from Kilifi County, but is not even in the House, and is a vice chair, and these are kind of chairs and vice chairs we were talking about earlier. and I don't want to encourage members to do what they ought to do with chairs and vice chairs who are not available either in their committees or their houses, but it is within our rights as members of parliament to also ensure there is proper oversight of our chairs and vice chairs in our committees. But let me just conclude by thanking the Honorable Mulungi and the committee for the good work and encourage all of us to take a keen interest on the ongoings of our NGCDF committees.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Ganze constituency, Honorable Charo Kazungu.